Alright you lots, Wildlife Moto here, and in this video we're going to take a look at this from Motone Customs. It's the Cafe Racer pinstripe tank pad, and we're going to stick it on the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. Now Motone Customs are pretty famous for these pads. You've probably seen their ever popular Union Jack version on a couple of Interceptors out there, but to date I've not yet seen anyone use this slightly more pared back minimalistic Cafe Racer design. So if you're interested to see how it works out, stick around because we're going to find out. So if you've been following the channel for a while, you'll remember that one of the first mods that I did on the Interceptor 650 was to install these tank pads from back. They cost me about €20 and they've served me really well actually. I think they look great and I certainly don't have any complaints with the performance of them. You get loads of grip through this vintage linear pattern, and the 3M sticky stuff on the back has also done its job flawlessly. So yes, changing the pads really is just an exercise in styling to see if that slightly more minimalistic look really helps the aesthetic of the bike. Either way, putting looks aside, I think that tank pads are a fantastic addition to any bike. I really ride with my knees. I kind of use the side of a tank like a control surface, loose on the bars, hard grip with the knees, and having that extra grip and protection that tank pads gets you is a really beneficial mod to do, if you ask me. Now, as I said, design-wise, there are two options from Motone when it comes to these pads. The Union Jack version, which I think looks absolutely fantastic, and this much more pared-back, minimalistic Cafe Racer pinstripe design. I paid $44.99 for these, so they are quite a bit more money than the back offering, but they do seem to be of really good quality. They've got a decent weight to them. They come in just under 10mm thick, around 24 centimeters long. They also use an automotive grade adhesive by 3M on the back too as well, so you know you're in good hands with this stuff. So the first job we have to do is to remove the outgoing back pads, and we've got to prep the paintwork as well. So I've gone ahead and nicked the Mrs. Hairdryer for this. Shh, don't tell her. I'm just going to set it to its hottest setting and use it to warm up the pads. The idea here is this is going to loosen up all of that adhesive and make the rubber a bit softer to make the removal process a lot faster and a lot cleaner. Now I found it best to start from the thinnest corner just to heat it up and slowly pry up the corner, and then you can get the hairdryer and start, directing hot air from the inside. And as you can see here, it's working really well to kind of melt some of that glue, and it should take most of it away from the tank and it should just stick back to the rubber, fingers crossed. But you are inevitably going to have a little bit of residue hanging around on the tank, so you're going to need to use something like this OB1 multi-surface cleaner, a paint-safe solvent basically to dissolve any remaining adhesive so that you can wipe it off. So I've just sprayed this on. I'll leave it on for a minute or so to soak in, and then using a soft microfiber, most of that will come away. And even if you're not removing old pads, it's probably a good idea to go over the paints with something like this, just to strip away any waxes or grease or oil or anything that might compromise the adhesion of your new pads. So once the surface is clean, you can now go ahead and slap on your brand new rubber. As you can see here, I've just peeled back the top section of the release liner to give me just a little bit more latitude when it comes to making small adjustments to make sure everything lines up on both the left hand and right hand pads. Now, you're never going to get this 100% perfect, so as near as damn it will do it, and I reckon I've got it pretty spot on here. Once you're happy to commit, go ahead and you can peel off the rest of the release liner, and then working from the center outwards, just apply some gentle pressure, pushing out any air bubbles towards the edges and make sure that everything is properly stuck down. Then take a step back, realize it would probably have been better a few millimeters higher, and then deal with it. Now, they do say that you have got about 30 minutes if you want to peel it off and start again, but honestly, unless you've made a right pig's ear of it, I wouldn't bother doing that. Just leave it. It will be fine. Personally, I think it looks really good. I really like this minimalistic look. It looks clean and purposeful. I really like how the shapes work with the scallop in the tank too. I know these pads aren't made for the Interceptor, but actually it looks kind of factory. It looks like they were meant to be. So really happy with that. Now, maybe the most obvious choice would have been to go for the Union Jack version, but I wanted to try something a bit different, and I do think this look works really well. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, before we wrap up, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel. Over the last couple of weeks, we added an additional 1,000 subscribers. Now, for a small channel, that's just a massive number. Still not really sure how that happened, but it is very, very cool. So thank you so much, and a very big welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, it would be really cool if you did. More motorcycle lifestyle content coming your way very soon. And until the next one, ride safe.